And they're backed up into the castle right now. It's not a good spot to be. And they do have the toilets in there, which they can use to rotate. I was just saying that. They make their way out, but Stretch was ready for that. Stretch is down there now. He's waiting for them to come out, and he's going to try and get some damage out and control this area. And that's why these mythic PYs are so incredibly fun. They almost always have these dumpsters and these porta potties. If you don't know what just happened there, this team jumped into the porta potty, and it kind of functions like a teleportation device or a portal, and they now come out at another porta potty further into the vault. But of course, Zayt, Saf, and Stretch know this. They know where these players come out, and they are swarming onto them, and Trap has now fallen, and then Posed has fallen too. So good guy NAE, the only player who's left standing right now, he's going to try and go back in the porta potty. He does, but maybe a little bit too little too late, because Zayt, Saf, and Stretch have won Doom's Domain yet again, and they've been contested now, but they ended this fight quickly, Monster. I actually think they're going to perform even better now for having been contested. They have their Storm Surge, that's 3 points, and they still have just as much time to loot. Does say a lot about a trio, because both those teams are almost guaranteed to be in the heat. So if they get in the same heat, we're going to find out very quickly. But if they get in separate heats, and that's what we haven't talked too much about, Monster, it's kind of hard. Do you want to get a team that's been contesting you all season in your heat so you can potentially beat them out and not have them in the finals? Because if they get into another heat than you have no control on the story. The story is out of your hands. If you qualify, you have to just sit back and watch if they qualify. No, Ronaldo falls here. Shades gets a really nice shot, and they're not going to be able to finish that up. They're not going to be able to capitalize, but that's some good Storm Surge gained for Shades, and that's a loss of some meds. But no, someone's actually going for that now. I think they've seen the sniper shot onto Ronaldo, and he's fallen, and someone has shockwaves up and claims that it's Avery. Avery, Booger, and Jamper are now pushing down onto Ronaldo's team, and that is such a big blow to a team that we had really high hopes for.
And it's reminiscent of the last week qualifier. We saw Avery and company do the same thing. They will take these mountains. They will literally battle on them. This time around, though, granted with the snipe, you see Booga there in the feed is going to conclude on elimination as Saf finds a knock as well. So all around, big action unfolding here. Disrupt Festival. Lyjack's looking up towards the fight, though, thinking, do we want to go up? We probably need to. Look at our Storm Surge. We're only 68. Let's get in this. And they're going to. They're going to move in for the battle here. Ooh. This is going to be a huge upset for everyone right now. New names, newcomers stepping up to the fight. What can they do here, Aussie? Ooh. It's looking dirty. They're in it.
They can do a lot, but Festival's falling here too. That's Jamper going down. So Booger, Jamper, and Avery trying to capitalize on that elimination on Ronaldo, or that knock anyway.
Shots giving us a good indicator that Festival, Jackson, Disrupt, I mean, they have this layer to themselves, so it is very, very interesting how that one can all unfold. Here on the other side, another team we saw, Vettel. I mean, they did a great job turning on to Furious. We see how that can work out. Mangola is actually going up for height right now, so quite interesting. Yes, they're below Storm Surge.
They're going up for it, and they need to communicate that. It seems like his teammates weren't on the same page for a second. I was with you, Monster. I was like, Magnolia's going, but Veteran Ral are not. And right now, Ral's on 1 health, and he's pushed so low right now. Has the medkit, has the minis, but they need to have a bit of a pause on this fight. He needs to have a little bit of a timeout, because this is Mars Crumbler they're versing right now, and Nexi's up there as well. So this is a difficult team to take out in this situation, and they've got a bit of damage. They're 75 above, now 60. They're up in a decent position. Do they keep pushing, or do they realize they're versing a team that has some serious firepower, and they jump back down? Also, loved a little bit of the respect there to 72. Magnolia carrying on the torch of Tom here.
Wait a second, though, as Ral is going to find a little bit of HP, so all of a sudden now, maybe they can bounce back. No, Magnolia's going to have someone jump in the box. The AR is going to connect all the way onto Nexi. My gosh, how do you respond that quick and still make something work of it? Now, though, it's still a 2v2. Ral is down, so it's up to Veta and Magnolia here.
And he's used his med kit already, so he's down to 56 health, 50 shield. I see a flopper being tagged, and then Mars has gone down as well now, so they might have a chance to clutch this one out.
On the other hand, though, Jelty and company have to rotate out. They were one of the first to move out of their home drop spot. Sniper's going to find onto Azers, though, the 290, and the conclusion as well. That's 3 elims for them.
That was fast. Jelty concluded on that one very quickly. I knew that was a knock there, but I didn't think he was going to finish that one very quickly, and Aegis falls there, and
Connor at none, Engage at none as well, but still, that ranks them up a little bit higher. Remember, they were in 6 before, so 2 points already is going to set them that much closer to overtaking or putting them in contention with Clicks, Illis, and Bizzle, who are also tied for 4th. So that is how much points matter right now. The competition is still so close because this is only game number 2.
Game number 2, and it's that 12-game format, and all commandment falls here. Gage getting a really, really nice shot with that Stark Rifle, and we're seeing the Stark Rifle just come into its own here in these stacked lobbies, because maybe some people argue it's not as good close range or for taking walls or putting out pressure as what maybe an epic or legendary assault rifle is, but man, when you do the ADS multiplier, the damage multiplier, it is so good if you can hit your shots like that, and he capitalized on a big elimination as Reverse, Miro, and Day making their rotate. Clicks, Bizzle, and Illis. We have Bucky, Creo, and Kanata all up this time, tunneling together, and they're looking a bit more like we expect to see from the Monster. All together, nice and tight, and there it is. Zayt, Saf, and Stretch on the side of the mountain in such a good spot, looking to see if they can do back-to-backs, and they've done back-to-backs before, so it would not be surprising if they win this game as well.
Definitely not. And then think about it, the zone is actually going to land up here. It would have spelled disaster for all of these teams if they had to get off these mountains and make the rotates into situated players in a main POI. Animal though, Degen, all that's left of this crew right here. A powerhouse of a 2-man team, putting in some fire shots. I don't see much builds coming out of this one enemy, so you have to think, is this player by himself?
Might be a solo trying to keep a low profile, and just like that, you picked a Monster. Clarity G falls there to Animal, and I was going to say, while we were talking, and we actually had a big engagement, we didn't get to see it on the stream, but we had Riversun's team run into Bucky's team, and I saw players go down from each side, so as much as they were targeting and looking good,
go all the way back into the low ground here, drop all the way back, all that building just to get pushed right back out, and they're still not safe now. They have to cross back into the safety zone here. That was a tough situation. Way to lose Zum on the rotate. Not looking good for them right now.
It means they got Ronaldo back up as well. So maybe they dipped back, they got Ronaldo back up, and then now it's gone against them. Player holding someone here. Bizzle takes down Bizzle, eliminates him here. He was carrying someone, so Bizzle goes down. So this is Dubs or Mega, and like I said, there was a fight. Sorry, Bizzle goes down, so it's Clicks and Illist, and Dubs and Mega were just around the corner. So this is a massive toe-to-toe fight from so many big teams. Bizzle goes down, Illist goes down, so I believe Clicks is now playing as a solo, and that's another question answered, Monster. That's another team that I would expect to maybe take height who now can't. So as much as we're watching these storylines unfold, it's just making this endgame seem more and more likely to be a story of back-to-back wins from Zayt. I can't see anyone else answering the question at this point.
Yeah, there it is, and the early rotates are already happening. The fact that Zayt and company are still waiting. They jump last, which means they get the last stab at building on top of the the colossal builds that are going to unfold first, as Elise, Jelty, and P-God also set up towards that mid-ground tarp. You can see Connor, Gage, Pledge still alive as well in the low ground there. Finally now, we get a little glimpse of Bucky. Bucky's still up. I believe I saw Kanata there too. Not too sure if he's still alive, but way to have another team just in shambles. So many of the biggest teams now left to 1 or 2 members.
It's a lot. Again, it's a tailored duo space. What can they do and what can they clutch up? Bucky had a big answer last game, managed to get a bunch of points as a solo, and see if he can do that. Zayt takes down Booger, Saf takes down Jamper, so we have to think they're in their dominant position. They won the battle for high ground. Skittles down here though, trying to do a lot, and Skittles does have the peppermints. Again, they've got good rotation, and that's where Jamper has fallen. He's fallen off the high ground, and Skittles managed to capitalize, but can he get the loot? He has 108 builds, has the peppermints, has the meds, but they're playing as a duo right now, and he's dropping the peppermints. There's Booger, so Avery's still keeping Booger alive here, so maybe he can actually do something as Clicks is a solo beneath. We have so many big names who need to have big games and do it for their team, but doing it as a solo or a duo.
100%. You saw Bucky Creo also on the back side of the storm line there. Gabe and Tahi though, Sprite looking to come back. We've seen their names pop up. Qualifiers after qualifiers, they've been around, keeping themselves relevant. It's looking good right now. They're going to drop someone into low ground. And yes, that's a down body. No, it's Avery then they're focusing in on. And that means Booga, with him being down, you can see the Harpoon. They're picking up all the loot tags. And a white tag as well. Oh no, the Shockwave in hand. I thought they were going to go in for a second. I'm like, uh-oh.
Well, they need to do something big. They got 41 below Storm Surge monsters, so they got to answer a question very quickly. Where is your damage going to come from? You're rotating up and over a mountain. You want to focus on the rotate, but you're going to have to do damage while you do it, because we do still have 47 players alive, 18 teams, which shows that there are so many solos and duos still in this. They have the shockwaves, but they can't get up and over all these builds. They need to keep going higher and higher before they even think about using that, as of course it is Saf and Stretch on the high ground, and Zayt following up from behind. We do still have Cease, Furious, and Blake though. That is a team that I have counted out. We have Day, Miro, and Reverse. There's still some big trios in this who need to cause an upset, because for Zayt, Saf, and Stretch to lose this right now would be an upset, as he takes down Creo as well. He's got the sniper in hand. He's got all eyes in the sky. This team's just too damn good at this, Monster.
Definitely, and once again, that leaves Bucky by himself in the final moments now to try and find what he can. He did in the last run. He found so many elims, something that you don't expect someone to do as a solo in a trio setting. They're setting up the anti-shockwave design as well. Stretch and Zayt so high up. I did a review on some of the Brazil boys, and this is how King God and company played as well. The way they walked their way through to 19 victory royales. So it shows that we're seeing the same consistency out of NA East. Are they just too ahead of the rest of the competition is the question right now, because look at how many frags they have. 7 eliminations already, and the majority of the lobby is still up here.
1,700 above Storm Surge. That just tells a story of a team that has been so ridiculously dominant in this game as he gets the elimination out of the sky. Saf putting that epic burst rifle to good use, and they still have shockwaves in the back pocket, Monster. So they even have the insurance. Yeah, they have the high ground strats to hold it, but if someone tries to take it off them, unless they have an extra 2 of their own shockwaves after getting to high ground, Saf's just going to take it straight back. So this is going to be such an interesting endgame to see, and the zone goes back though. So again, same as game 1, a little bit of break for these teams. They can hide in the old builds, they can sit underneath each other because they know there is a team above them that is looking to put down some serious damage the second they peek out. So go back through the old builds, stay in cover for as long as you can. But teams like this that I see only 18 builds on a leash, they've got to be careful because they're going to need to find a refresh. And there it is, finds the refresh on the Dubs. As I say that, Elige with the big pick, and then the teammate there running off, so either Mega or Riversun, I believe it's Mega that's still up, does have to disengage away, and that's some extra materials, and now they control this layer.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate, but great for the Hispanic trio right there. And now their second height, you see the triple AR fire from high ground. Zayt Stretch, Saf putting all that pressure in. Ronaldo's going to find Furious here. A little bit of a response there. That was personal. And now Ronaldo at 3 eliminations. Skittle is still up in this game. So a 2-man team putting in so much work here. Someone else is on their layer. How are they going to play this? This is going back and forth through so many builds here. Now he has enough mats too to hold out.
And he does. He takes a little bit of storm damage there. Ronaldo wants to take a few ticks to get in front of this team and control these layers. He's going to go for the med kit, and he might have time for this as well. Zone's hooking back around. No, I don't think he does. I think he'll have to cancel that one and keep moving as the low ground is where things are breaking out. Reverse Miro down there. I don't see Day. We have Tahi, Sprite, and Gabe trying to drop some eliminations now, as well as Elige finds Avery again in the feed. So they have that mid-ground layer securely fastened, and they might be able to make the play for high ground as Zayt, Saf, and Stretch have had to go quiet. All the action's happening beneath them. They just need to capitalize at the end as Tahi drops someone in, gets the big eliminations. It is Jelty's team. I said they had it anchored, but no, there was a shark under the water beneath them waiting to take them out.
Definitely, as P-God falls as well there in the feed. So now all of a sudden, Tahi's still continuing through. He finds Skittles, and that's going to be a big elimination for them. He needed the material. In the ultimate low, though, Tab's trying to set up for the heal play. Look, he has the med kit. He took the tick, too. So he's trying to go for the heal off. It's going to be up to everyone else to try to stay alive here. They're going to need the siphons.
And that's one way to upset it. I talk about who's going to win on the high ground. You can win the heal off as Tahi goes toe-to-toe, gets the refresh. Can Tahi do it again? He's got Tabs G down there with him. Saf is making his way down. Saf doesn't win the heal off. Saf might lose this. Tahi's going to win. Tahi does win. We have the answer. Who can win the heal off? No, Stretch was above them. I couldn't see Stretch coming down, but does he have enough health? It goes right down to the wire. It's a single tick, and Stretch's team just spin it. The back-to-back from the Kings of Height and potentially the Kings of NA East right now.
And why? It's because whatever situation they're put in, and again, they're contested this week once more, they're finding themselves in this position where they're just sending one person in a height and saying, look, just hold it down.
You see our teams now. Oh, what are you wondering? Tell me what you're wondering.
I'm just wondering, like, because I'm seeing Booga on the screen, I'm seeing